Hello, gorgeous ladies of the Femme Fatale program. I'm a little sniffly this morning, and clearly my brain is on vacation. So I had started without recording. But don't worry, we haven't started the session yet. I was just answering some questions. The benefit of being there live. I know you can't make them all live, but when you do, you get little sneak peeks sometimes before I mess up. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to have a small sip of coffee because that may help me in this moment. Let's just see. Oh, yes. All right. And now we're going to go into the science of love. So have you ever heard in your life someone say, I don't know what it is between us, there's just no chemistry? Like, it's just, there's no chemistry. Have you ever heard that saying in your life? If you have, type yes in the comments. So, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. And on the other side, have you felt like, I don't know what's going on? There's just so much chemistry, right? There's that side of it as well. So why do we call it chemistry? Intuitively, why do we call it chemistry is because it actually is science. Love is a crazy thing. Who here has ever fallen in love with someone that it made no sense they fell in love with? Why have I fallen in love with you? Why? Of all the people in the entire world, why you? It makes no sense. I don't want to be in love with you. Shouldn't I be allowed to choose that? I don't want to be in love with you. Have you ever had the opposite? Like, I wish I loved you so bad because you tick all the boxes and you love me so much, but I just don't have it. I don't have it. You're such a nice guy. It's awful. I'm so sorry. We don't feel it. We don't feel it. Or we do feel it and we're like, what is wrong with me? Snap out of it. Why does love do this? So here's what happens. This is one of the biggest shifts for me that happened in my life and in my relationships is when I understood that we don't actually fall in love with the man or the woman. We don't fall in love with them. We fall in love with how we feel about ourselves when we're with them. So when you have like the hottest looking human being in the whole world who thinks you're sexy and beautiful and smart and wants to spend his time with you, how does that feel? What's the feeling of like, oh, gosh, this guy is so attractive and so smart and so like he's just all the positive things and he wants to spend all his time with you? What is that feeling inside? How do you feel? Blissful? Just imagine these feelings. Blissful. Powerful. Like that one. Secure. Like a goddess. I feel sexy. I love that, Elizabeth. Unstoppable. Feminine. All right. I like these. Loved. Like a goddess. All right. It's beautiful. Let's try this one. Connected. What if the guy who's in love with you, bless his soul, there's just something up with his face. He's so nice, but there's either an issue with symmetry, something doesn't work. He's so nice though. But, oh, no. He's not attractive. Like, he doesn't have it at all. He walks a bit weird. He's got hair where there shouldn't be and hair missing where it should be. And his teeth are like, not right. It's just not right. And he's in love with you, head over heels. How do you feel? He would give you the whole world. He's so in love. He just wants to see you naked. He's in love with you. You're like the perfect goddess in the world. How do I feel? Uncomfortable. Icky. Why? Tripped out, icky, uncomfortable, not comfortable. Like, just like a feeling of like, oh no, go away. So why does this happen? There's just no attraction. I can't do it, don't kiss me, but here's what we're gonna do. How, he doesn't want to make me feel naked, uneasy. Now this is what I'm gonna ask you. How do you feel? So not just the go away. Look, I've seen guilty. So guilty, uncomfortable, uneasy, those are the things. How do you feel? Not just what do you think? How do you feel? Because when the hot guy loved you, you felt powerful and sexy. Now you're feeling uncomfortable, uneasy, guilty, not exactly beautiful. Even though I could feel loved, I can't feel beautiful. How crazy is this? I feel awkward. So my attraction to him, when he's attracted to me, dictates how I feel about me. Like, it's the difference between, Tracy, it's the difference between I feel sexy, I feel like a goddess, I feel unstoppable, or I feel awkward. How I feel about him when he's attracted to me, how my attraction is towards him when he's attracted to me dictates how I feel about myself when I'm with him. It's the difference between feeling powerful or feeling icky, feeling connected and feeling uncomfortable, feeling like a goddess and feeling uneasy is my attraction physically for this guy or energetically for this guy. So this means if the guy has any power at all of attraction on me, just attraction, he has the power to all of a sudden make me feel extraordinarily powerful, passionate, beautiful, goddess-like. He makes me feel that about me because I'm attracted to him and he's attracted to me and he's attractive. Why? Why does it change the way I feel about me? It does. One moment, please. Oh, that's not. It's lovely. It really is truly lovely. All right. Let's see. I got a comment here. Let's see. Christina says, I was responding to the early question, meaning I love Alex and we're good together, but I never felt beautiful and Alex doesn't understand it. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, well, Alex was also your first ever partner. So he may not have had it's like when you see some men that just don't have it and you fall for the wrong men, there's a polarity that happens that creates something. You just fell in love with the first guy that you were, and you have this amazing relationship, and there are people who dream of that. So your goddess, you're going to learn how to do this for yourself in here. It's not his job to do it. We've got to do it for ourselves. So I'm going to help you with that. Oh no, you got sick. I did. I slept in a place, I think, with too much air conditioning, and it happens to me. I still love you, snots and all. Would that be why I don't feel attracted to Tom? Because I have a huge trust issue around our relationship. Absolutely. How you feel about yourself when you're with him is whether or not you feel attracted long-term in the relationship. I started feeling better today. I hope you get well soon. Thank you. So the bottom line is this. In my life, when I feel at my best, I feel beautiful, sexy, unstoppable, whatever it is that you feel. Strong, powerful, confident, whatever the word is that describes you best when you love yourself, that's the vibe you're in when you're the happiest. When you meet someone and they send you into that vibe, you fall in love. You fall in love, but you don't fall in love with him. You fall in love with how you feel about yourself when you're around him. You can't get enough of being together because you feel so much better about you when he's there. You want to get dolled up and get all beautiful and you want him to see. You want to go sit and talk for hours because you feel so good when you're speaking with him. You want to do all these things because you feel so great. Is it the same for the other person? Yes. So here's what happens. Women have a hormone that is created in our body that is like the hormone of joy, the happy hormone. So men have a hormone that also makes them all the things. That hormone is testosterone. So if you've done Femme Fatale before, don't answer this question. But if you haven't, take a guess. What is the hormone for women? The hormone that gives us all the feels. I'm going to be blowing my nose this whole session. Okay, so Austin says, how sad. I don't feel great when I'm with my husband. He doesn't make me feel happy when I'm talking. How sad. So this is a huge realization. Huge realization. So we've got oxytocin, oxytocin, oxytocin. I have no idea. Oxytocin, all the pheromones. So depending on the rounds, some people nail it right away. Some people say estrogen. No, that definitely does not make you happy. That makes you miserable. That is not, those are the worst. No, not true. But there's so many hormones that course through our bodies. And oxytocin is the hormone, that's the happy hormone. It's the cuddle hormone. It's the hormone that you create when you're breastfeeding with your baby. It's like the proximity hormone. They call it the cuddle hormone. When you're cuddling and snuggling with your men, you feel the oxytocin, right? So this hormone is your happy hormone. And when men are in their testosterone in a high dose, and you're in your oxytocin in a high dose, that is chemistry. That's the feeling of chemistry. He is the best version of himself when his testosterone is high. He is the best version of himself when his testosterone is high because he feels strong, he feels powerful, he feels confident. Do you know what men are capable of when they feel strong, powerful, and confident? Holy crap. That is what gets them to drive to your house at midnight and throw pebbles in your window with a bunch of flowers singing. Because they know you're going to run downstairs and then they're going to get laid, and it's so fun and exciting because they know it's happening. Fast forward a few years, he won't touch your knee because he knows you're going to slap him off. Get off. Don't touch me, you dirty little. Take your hands off me. So that energy changes everything for them. Remember when he used to like touch you and you're like, ah, like no matter what part of you he touched, you just melted into it. Like a big old puddle. I love it when you touch me like that. He touched your hair, you had butterflies. He kissed your neck, you like melted to the floor. Convulsions. It was like magic. It was magic. Now, not so much. Why? Why does this happen? So, let's see what we've got here. Sarah says, I thought I felt that and used too much more than I do now. Austin says, how sad is that? I want to feel amazing when I'm with him. I want him to feel the same way. I have no idea what I'm doing in this life. You're going to find out. Austin, I feel you. I'm tearing up now. I miss that. I used to have a boyfriend who would just look at me across the room and I melted. Holy moly. Samantha's like, oh, I want some of that. So why does it happen that our relationships are so fickle? And it's because human beings are driven by emotion, not thought. We don't get driven by our, like, just thinking this is a good man is not going to turn you on. It's the feeling inside that's incredible. The thing is, though, you can create your own oxytocin. He doesn't have to make the oxytocin, but we don't know that in the beginning. In fact, I think it would have saved my life if at some point in my adolescence, someone would have told me, here's the thing. You're going to artificially create oxytocin for about 3 months in your relationships. So if it feels like the most incredible thing in the world for 3 months, enjoy every second, but you only actually find out who the person is within about 3-4 months. So have fun for 3 months, but you're not in love. You're in oxytocin heaven. As soon as 3 or 4 months are over, if you're starting to see a whole bunch of things you don't like, that's the real person. Wouldn't it have been really nice for someone to tell me, who here stayed in a relationship longer than they should have because they kept remembering how good it was in the beginning, and then they got trapped and sucked in to the trap? Yeah, look at this. Me. Why does nobody teach us this? How? Look, we've all freaking done it. Like, why? It was so great in the beginning. I just wanted to go back to that. You can't. You were high. You were high on oxytocin. Doesn't work like that. That was not who you were and who he was at its real. This is back when you held your stomach in 24/7, farted in silence, locked in a bathroom, didn't poop for 3 months. Like, this is back when you slept with makeup on, had a blowout every day, had a manicure and pedicure all the time, shaved your legs twice a day, wore deodorant under your boobs. Like, you did everything. Perfection. I am seeking for perfection. I must be perfect. I'm so excited. I love this feeling. That's when that was. Then it's like, he's not perfect either. I heard him fart. I can fart too. Not perfect. He just did that. I didn't do that. He's not perfect. He forgot this. I'll forget that. Oh, no, I've forgotten this. Oh, no. Now he's not perfect, and it makes me mad. Because I thought he was perfect, so now I'm going to be mad at him. Oh, now I'm seeing his true colors, so now I'm going to make him run after me because I was taught that it's a good thing to make men run. Not a good thing to make men run. It's manipulation. They hate that shit. So we get caught up, like massively caught up in the beginning, thinking that it's real, when in fact, it's real for the phase it's in, but it's not sustainable that way. When you're in the beginning with him, you create enough oxytocin to effortlessly take you through anything. Like, he texts you in the morning, "Good morning, gorgeous," and you're like, oh my God. He texts you the same thing 3 months later, you're like, yo, sup? Why? Same text, same guy, same all the things. The magic is gone. Where did it go? Where did it go? Everything he starts to do is just not enough. It just used to feel like more. Everything used to feel like more, but you know what it felt like on his hand, on his end? It felt like every single thing he did was like magic. He texted us good morning and we were on a high all day. We walked in a room and he said, "You look great." And we were like, "Thank you." He took us out to dinner and bought it and we were like, "You're taking me? Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Thank you." He bought us flowers. We're like, "Oh my gosh, these are my perfect flowers. They smell so good. You're so romantic." Then he took us out for dinner and we were like, "This place is shit. This is terrible. This food is disgusting. Take this back." "Why'd you buy me more flowers? And you know I always kill them. Thanks, they're great." "Where did you get these from?" We left the price tag on them. There's an energy that changes. Now, when he does things with the same effort, he doesn't know for a fact you're going to be happy. He hopes you will be. And you know what? A lot of the times you're not. You think this is going to fix things? You buy me flowers, you think it's going to fix what you said yesterday? I don't think so. So some of you are like, what if he doesn't do the things? There was a transition. You didn't see it. You totally missed the transition, but it was there. And the transition was between the time where everything he did for you felt amazing, and then when he's tried doing things for you and it just didn't work. And no matter what he tried, it just didn't bring him the same amount of satisfaction as it did in the beginning because he just couldn't get it quite right. This doesn't mean they quit completely. This doesn't mean we quit completely. It just means that everything is a little bit more difficult. So Courtney's like, oh no, Melissa, what happened? Melissa, so sorry, I'm back. Just found my car got hit while parked. No! Melissa! I'm so sorry. So Tracy says, does he feel the oxytocin shift after 3 months, or is he reacting to the change in how we act when we fall out of the hive? That's what he's reacting to. So he goes from everything I do is godlike, I feel so good about myself around her, to, okay, well, I lost my magic. Before I used to do this and she responded like this, not this time. Before I used to do this, she'd respond like this. It's not working anymore. I see it in her eyes, it's different. I see it in the way she touches me, her way of being, the way she's attracted to me. Like even sex in the beginning, you know how you're just so turned on in the beginning? It's like, I don't care. We're having sex everywhere, like everywhere, all the times, no problem. He's up for it all the times, no problem. And then it's like, well, I'm tired, I have a headache, not tonight. You know, before you're ready for the occasion every single time, everything is shaved and perfect and all the things. Then you're like, I am not letting you go down there. I haven't taken care of that in like a week. You're not, no, it's not. How did I even get to that? It used to be like, there is one tiny hair. I am plucking it. Like there's nothing. I'm perfect. Like, why is there a shift? It changes how we feel about us in the moment. So when I feel on top of my game, when I feel really good about myself, when I feel sexy, I want to take care of me because I'm already sexy and I already feel so great. I want my hair to look perfect. I want that confidence. It feels so good. It's such a great feeling. But as soon as it starts to wear out, I have no reason to be the way I was anymore. And the biggest downfall and the reason we react like that is because we didn't understand this was happening because of something internal. We thought it was happening because of something external. All our life, we thought the magic, the butterflies from the beginning, it doesn't last. That's not true. I've been with Kevin for over 5 years and the butterflies are strong. Why? Because I am in charge of the oxytocin. So we're going to talk about this. I've just seen a comment that really hit me. So Faye says, I change when his words hurt. So just imagine this. And Kevin does work too. And Rebecca says 13 years of marriage and it's better now than ever. So you can have this for a long time. Christina says, poor Alex, I still make things harder for him than I should. And then I feel shameful and it's a cycle. I'm trying so hard to change. And Faye says, I change when his words hurt. This is so important. I change when the words hurt. It's so important. I change when the words hurt because what it really should be is I leave when the words hurt. I change when the words hurt means I've created a defense mechanism. I leave when the words hurt mean I just found out who you are and that's not going to take us one step farther together. We're done. If his words hurt, he's out. There's no point creating a shield to shield yourself from your life partner. And this is the issue. When you become someone who is in response to the universe, is in response to your life instead of in creation of your life, you feel trapped very fast. Because it's like he changed, so now I changed. I don't really like the way I am. I definitely don't like the way he is. It's not like I'm enjoying this relationship. But now I've kind of accepted him this way. So how do I leave if I didn't leave when he actually said the worst things? This isn't even as bad as the first thing he said, so never good. When the words hurt, you leave. You say, you know what? I want to just say the beginning with you was incredible. Thank you so much. It'll be my intention to remember all the good memories together, but I don't actually enjoy relationships that feel like this. And I want to be happy in my life. And I wish you happiness too, but this relationship is over. And that's it. And if he says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I just blah, 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 and it's a first offense, and you think this could be an exception and not the rule, and you feel it in your heart, I really genuinely think this may have been a slip up, you tell him, I want us to be very honest with each other, because I'm happy to give you another shot if you're telling me that this is out of character, but if it happens again, I'm going to leave. So do we really want to waste our time with this? If you know this is what you're doing, if you know this is your way of being, I'm going to leave. So, you know, is it worth the shot, or is this kind of who you are? Let's be honest. All right, fine, go. Or no, I promise it's different. And then he may just step up. But your boundaries need to be clear. Staying for the kids. Who here has a mom who stayed in something, and then later in life you found out she did it for you? Christina says me. Jackie, me. Grandma did it. Yes, a lot of people find out later in life their mom stayed in something for them. What would you tell your mother if you could go back? Leave. Don't stay in something that hurts you for your kids. Run. Leave, please. Leave. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'd tell her to leave. You don't deserve that. Your happiness is more important. So in the moment, you may think you're protecting your family, but your family would tell you to leave. I always wanted her to be happy. So I'm so glad you said this, Faye. Thank you. You know, if along your journey you ever have that thought, like, I've got to stay for the kids' sake. You know, I have my aunt, in my family, there was this big thing, like, no one gets divorced, you know, no one gets divorced. And my grandma was so proud of that. No one gets divorced in our family. It's the best thing in the whole world. But then my aunt was with a man who didn't treat her very well. And because she knew she wouldn't get divorced, she never told anybody. She just kind of stayed that way. And I remember going and visiting my family in England, and my little cousin was like, I wish you could live here all the time. And I was like, oh, thank you. And she was like, no, I wish you really could, because my dad's really nice when you're here. He was my uncle. I'm like, what do you mean? What's he normally like? And she was like, oh, he screams at all of us. He screams at my mom. He screams. And I was like, what? That's impossible. I couldn't even believe it. But then it was like the subject of conversation between my cousin and I for years. And I was like, why doesn't she leave? And she was like, I have no idea. I said, have you ever told her that you think maybe she should leave? She was like, are you crazy? They're my parents. I can't say that. I can't say that. So as it got worse and worse, one time my aunt came over to Canada and she told my mom things are really bad. Like, they're really bad. He's got a drinking problem. He gets into fist fights with our son. Son's like 14, 15 at this point. Like, it's really bad. My mom was like, please leave. Like, please leave. And she was like, it would kill mom if I left. I can't. And what about the kids? And my mom was like, you've got to leave. Like, you've just got to leave. Like, I don't care what we've said in our family. This isn't protecting anybody. You're showing them to stay in bad relationships. That's what you're showing them to do. Don't do that. You've got to leave. How long has this been going on? My mom was furious. You've got to leave. You've got to leave. You've got to leave. And it freaked my aunt out so much. She just like cut contact for months. She just wouldn't reach out of fear that anybody would say anything. But I think the seed got planted because all of a sudden she started thinking about it. My little cousin moved out with an abusive guy. My older cousin moved out with an abusive guy. And all of a sudden she started realizing that she'd taught her kids to do exactly what she had done. So she left my uncle 2 years before my grandma died. And when my grandma found out everything that he had done, she went, you bloody daft bugger, why didn't you leave him before? Why did you stay with him? I'll give him a piece of my mind. Are you bloody crazy? Why did you stay with him? I'll kill him. I'll flaming kill him. Why did you stay? Please don't bloody tell me you did it for me. I'll smack you. She was like, I did it for you. My grandma was livid. Livid. How did you, why did you ever think that this no one gets divorced thing was more important than your safety, than your joy? And when my aunt left the abusive husband, it wasn't very long, you bloody daft bugger, my grandma's British. It wasn't too long before both my cousins left the men that were abusive as well. When you heal, they heal. When you set a boundary, they learn how to. They find out how to be strong through your strength, and you find out to be strong through their strength. We're connected. So never stay in something that is not good for you to protect someone, ever. There's no need. And in hindsight, they would always tell you, leave. Always. They would tell you to leave. So thank you from the bottom of my heart of sharing that. That is so, so, so important. Samantha says, in my family, I felt like divorce was a horrible thing and no sex before marriage. And if so, you're stuck and have to get married, which only made me feel trapped after the rape. Your story makes me feel so, I wish I knew you back then. I wish I knew you back then. But you know what? The person you are today, you are so strong. You're going to teach your daughter and your son to be so strong. And I'm so proud of you that you've come this far, because your story is one heck of a story. And I'm so happy that you're here, and I love you very much. Brianna says, when I got divorced, my family almost disowned me. That's nuts. Happiness is too important to stay out of pride. It really is. So Elizabeth says, I just realized how strong my mom was before she had me. She left with my brother and sister and went on her own. So in these moments, I want you to take a moment and realize this is something we very rarely do in our life, that your mother is also a woman who had a whole bunch of pressures, a whole bunch of things that she was supposed to do and had no really clue what to do. Her example of a strong woman was her mother. God only knows what that meant for her. The rules for women back when your mother was a young girl were even more difficult and more strict than now. God forbid she was religious or had religious parents. It was even more difficult than it is now. The rules, the shame. And then she had you. She had no freaking clue what to do. She had no idea what romance felt like probably anymore at this point. She was stressed. She had no idea what she was doing. So when we are in this situation in our life, we're not alone, because our mothers went through it before us. And our daughters will go, and our sons will go through it after us. We are not alone. But we feel alone. You know what? They felt alone too. It's the most difficult thing to be a woman and to actually realize we're not alone at all. But we feel alone. And it's the most difficult thing in the world to feel alone when we're surrounded. It's the worst loneliness. Because it would make sense to feel alone when you're alone. That makes sense. But what about when you feel alone and there's people there? That's the most difficult kind of lonely. And it's why we fall in love so deeply, so fast with men who make us feel seen, who make us feel understood, who make us feel beautiful, important, and goddess-like. This is why we fall so fast. Because in a world where it's so easy to feel alone, it is life-changing to meet someone who sees beauty in us and makes us feel beautiful. So this means if we're not responsible for our own joy, we can fall to our knees so fast for someone who's not even right for us, just because there's a permanent or a temporary fix to a permanent issue. The issue is every single one of us at the bottom line is looking for joy. That's what we want. We just want to feel happy. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. It's not grand and glamorous. We just believe the difficult, complicated, glamorous things are the things that are going to make us happy. If I could travel wherever I wanted, if I had all the money to buy all the clothes, if I had the perfect relationship, if my face looked the way it did when I was 20, if my butt looked the way it did when I was 20, I'd be happy. But the bottom line is what we're really just craving is joy. So it's so important that we learn to create that joy for ourselves, detached from people and circumstances, detached from other people's ability to show up the way they would need to show up for us to feel happy. Because that is a lot of pressure for a guy too. He didn't create oxytocin in you on purpose in the beginning, because if he could gauge it, I guarantee it, men wouldn't make us feel that good in the beginning out of fear they can't keep it up. It's not easy for them either. They're like, I'm so perfect in the beginning and then I mess it up. When you speak to men, that's their story. I don't know how to do long term. I'm good in the beginning and then I just mess it up. And I don't even know what I do wrong. I go from being this great thing to the worst thing, and I have no idea what I do wrong. The shift is no control and oxytocin. If I don't understand that I'm in fact gauging my own energy, then he seems responsible for my joy and my sadness and my anger and all of it. And for those of you who, and I know the feeling, for those of you who blame or resent your mom in any way, because you're like, I'm just like my mom. There are some of us like, I'm just like my mom. This program is going to allow you to let that go and understand that she was who she was because she knew no other way. After this program, you will have something she didn't have, a choice of how you can move forward and be different, of how you can be something else. You're welcome. You're going to get to choose how you want your life to go. Sarah says, I want to have a love affair with myself. I'm questioning if I can do that while married to my husband. Why do I feel I need to do this alone? So the reason you believe you need to be alone to do this is most probably when you were the happiest in your life and the most free and the most able, you were single. So when you look back at the times in your life where you actually did make it work, you're like, well, I was single then, so I would probably need to be single again in order to make it work. But that's not necessarily the truth. It's just what you're used to. And what it means is that as soon as you have a man in your life, it has been a pattern to stop having a love affair with yourself. Like as soon as a man comes in, you stop having the love affair with yourself. So your brain has automatically associated single means self-care, relationship, no self-care. This is what we're going to heal in this program. Alex says, I feel like I joined this program to really heal my feminine relationship with my mom. There is going to be so much space for that here. So thank you for sharing that. And Tracy says, even though my mom is gone, this program has really helped me understand some of the poor choices she made in her life. That's amazing. And Courtney says, that's what healed for me. So this program gives you empowerment. A lot of the programs, I've taken a lot of personal development programs in my life, and I always find it funny how a lot of the participants show up hoping I'll take the program and my partner will change, or I'll take the program and my mother will change. Like, I would really love to learn the tips here so I can change my mother. That would be great. But this is a place where you come to be the version of you that you want to be. Faith says, everyone got put ahead of me and I got lost. And that sentence is almost true. It's more like, I put everyone ahead of me and then I lost myself. Because people don't just get ahead of you. We put them there. And you know what? We put them there because, and this happens a lot for people who are empaths, for people who are very connected, very emotional, very loving people, because it actually makes us very sad to see someone we love be sad. So it's actually, I am putting myself first, because if my daughter's miserable, then I'm miserable. So I might as well take care of her, because if she's not happy, I won't be happy anywhere. Anyway, so I'll put her first, and I'll put him first, and then heck, might as well put him first and her first, and then how about him first and her first? Then we get kind of addicted to that. And and this happens especially when your kids are young, we get a lot of significance from you get a lot of significance from your kids loving you and needing you. And when they start to grow up and they don't need you so much, it starts to feel like panic mode. And you tend to want to help things and people that are outside of your kids now, because what do? I used to be so important to my kids, now I'm not. So you may start helping the family member that everybody alienates, or you may start wanting to have, I don't know what it is that your heart might want to do, but like, let me help people. Like, that's going to be the thing you're going to want to do to fill the gap, instead of saying, I'm going to take care of me now, because that's been so far away from you. It's not even a thought. It's like, who am I going to take care of next? Who needs my help? Who needs me? Because my kids don't anymore. So now what? So if you don't learn that you're important while other people are there, as soon as they leave, you're just looking for replacement people. Or importing them because you feel lost. You take in animals, you take in people, I would help everybody. Rebecca's like, I almost had another baby just so I could feel needed. And Mary says, wow, I always did that before. I just realized. That's what my mom has done. When I began working on myself deeply earlier, she stopped. As I heal, I've noticed she heals. Samantha says, my mom still tends to be so clingy and wanting to do all the things for everyone. She's got it so bad. When she visits, she tends to invade my space. Sarah says, my ex and I separated when I was 8 months pregnant with my younger son. Best thing that could have ever happened, but scary as hell. Oh my gosh. Shelly says, it's me, all me right now. I want all 6 of my small kids, or my kids small and home. I want all of my kids small and home. It's giving back to me. Samantha, my mom has lately been showing a bit more interest about what we're doing. She sees something different happening within me. Got to be the example. I wish I knew the portal because I think it would help the fights we get into. I'm so tired of feeling bad due to saying things we don't mean. So this is when you got to practice with an object outside of you. So wait for the portal, because the portal is a part inside of you. It's a little harder to access if you can't visualize it. Try with external objects. We put them there. Yes. And Shella says, I'm struggling with even having the date we're supposed to take ourselves on because I want to feel like, how do I date myself if I'm married? I've never been single, really. Is this why? Yes. Diane says, yes, that's exactly how I feel. I'm single and amazing, or I lose myself to him. So this is something that we do. We only know how to be all about ourselves when we're alone. That is one of the biggest problems. We only know how to be truly self-sufficient and happy with ourselves if we have to. If there's no man, there's no woman, there's no children. If we are like that, then we can focus on us. But as soon as we have a partner in the equation, we gotta just put all the focus over here. As soon as there's kids in the equation, we gotta put the focus over there. Who were you before you started thinking you were an afterthought? What was possible for you before you started thinking you were an afterthought? Just think of the way you took care of yourself. Think of what you believed in, of what you believed about yourself, of what you thought was possible, of how it felt to be you. It's like, that's the woman. Potentiality, possibility, expansive. Oh, I love that. Unlimited. Michelle says, I'd forgotten who I was before my 17-year marriage. 17 years with someone that changes you if you've forgotten that you've got to put yourself first. That totally would make you forget who you are. This really describes me. I used to have to take a solo vacation just to be able to think about what I wanted. Rebecca says, oh my God, I don't even remember a time when I didn't feel like an afterthought. Wow. I was everything. Okay, yes, that makes so much sense. I always say the best time of my life was the year I was single and lived alone. I felt I could do anything at any time, anywhere. And Melissa says, my mom was the same way. She only focused on me and never actually fulfilled her life. I'm alone a lot. Alex works a lot on the weekend, so I find myself having my own dates. Do you enjoy them? I'm going on my self-date tonight. Irish pub to listen to Celtic music. Yes, Celtic music. So this is the magic. When you're able to not let go of you because there's someone else involved. When you have the inner strength to put you first, and everyone else also super important comes as part of it. Because the fact is, if you really understand this, he feels the best about himself when you feel the best about you. So why put him first? Doesn't even help. Your kids are happiest when you're happy. Be happy. Everyone is happiest around you when you're happy. And you're happiest when you're happy. It isn't noble to put everyone else first. It's nuts. Because we're constantly wondering why we have no energy, why we're exhausted, and why things don't work. You're the only person who can make your life work. How can you put that last on your priority list? It's like and so many philosophers said it, music says it, you want to see a better world, look at yourself, change that. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself, make a change. Look at yourself, be the change you want to see in the world. And it is a misconception because your mom said you've got to put your family first. You got to put your husband first. This was a thing. I read a book. I saw a little booklet. I found it. I can't remember where I saw it. A really old booklet, a manual on how to be the best wife possible. And it's like, when he comes home, don't say anything. Be quiet. He needs alone time. The 50s housewife. Yeah, like he needs alone time. Deliver him dinner. Have sex with him whenever he needs it. Make sure the kids are in bed, hand him a drink, give him a foot rub, give him a blowjob. Like, basically, the minute he's in the door, make sure you're very well put together. Don't look tired. Don't talk to him about your problems. Bring him a drink, get on your knees, and clean the house. Great. Great. There are women who actually had to live like that. That was what it meant to be a good wife. You know what it means to be a good woman now? What it means to be a good woman now is be happy. Be happy and let him feel like a man around you. Let him feel like the man around you. And in my relationship with Kevin, he's the man. Even though I have a super strong masculine energy as far as business comes, and I get into my badass mode and I make big things happen in my business, and I'm like, got it together. I'm a badass. I'm a boss. When I'm with him, I'm a goddess. And he loves that. He loves that he gets to be the man at home. I'm not rivaling him for who's the bigger man. So you've got to have a place for each thing that matters in your life. You're a boss at your work. You're a badass in your life, in your work, and you're a goddess at home. And that's a good question. Like, what's the balance? You have a balance. It depends. How big is your business? This is huge for me, and I'm so thankful to learn this here. I'm so happy. How big is your business? Are you like, a good rule is this: if you have a tiny business and you're just starting it, and you're in boss mode and badass mode now, you're out of balance. If you're just starting your business, there needs to be a lot of goddess in your life. Because as the business grows, if you've already gone into boss and badass overdrive, you will lose yourself. If you're running a huge company and you are the face of everything and you've got to be in boss and badass mode basically all day, then being in goddess mode at night when you shut your phone off is enough, and 1 or 2 days a week. But she's still got to be there. She's still got to be a conscious thought. She still needs to be able to have space to be. You can't be in your boss and your badass all the time. You need the oxytocin. Now, there are oxytocin raising activities, things that you do for yourself. The number one thing, let me just see here. I've never thought that way. I see all the women who are successful in badass and boss mode. And the reason you probably see them in badass and boss mode is because when you see them, they're talking about business. But in their actual life, like Beyonce, Beyonce's a badass. She's a boss, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't walk around her kitchen in a thong going, do your homework, She's got an off switch. She's not like, Jay-Z, pass me the butter. She's normal. She probably needs a foot rub from time to time. She sees her pictures on things and she's like, oh my gosh, this is insane. My butt looks big on that one. He's like, I know, I love it. And she's like, stop it. And her kids have barfed on her and she's wiped butts. Beyonce poops. She's real. Like real. Yet we don't see that. We just see front cover of the magazine, one-piece sequin wearing, goddess, butt slapping, on stage, crowd roaring Beyonce. But that's what she looks like when she's brushing her teeth. Beyonce brushing her teeth. Little moment of joy, little moment of bliss. It's not, it's not all what we see. So you don't always need to be on either. Everybody needs a space to be who they are. It's part of your life experience. Like, you've got to be able to be who you need to be. You have to have the freedom for that. How do we shift this? I definitely need to learn this. So the beginning part is let's see how you can create your own oxytocin. So things that you can do for yourself that create oxytocin are, first of all, just pleasure. Anything that creates pleasure in your life. If you eat something, who here, just out of fun, has tried the whole sensual eating thing? If you did, just say me, if you've tested it so far. Okay. So in those of you who've tried it, have you noticed that you feel, we need a t-shirt that says goddesses poop too. Who wrote that? You ladies. So in those of you who tried it, tell me who felt more connected and actually like beautiful or sexy in their body when they tried it. I felt so sexy. Yes. So pleasure from the taste, the feel of food, right? So when later in the program, it seemed unnatural. That's normal. I'm going out for dinner tonight, so excited. What's hard for me is I get into goddess mode and communicate better, and then between rounds I start to fall off. It's normal. It's normal. You've had a communication pattern for like 40 years. And you're going to change it in a weekend? No, but you're going to change your awareness around it. And that's the beginning of a quantum shift. It all starts with awareness first. This is the beautiful thing. When you become aware of something new, you cannot be the same again. And that's all we need in our life in order to change. So your goal in your life is to experience pleasure. Yes, but I can't do 50 rounds. No, but you can be more aware for yourself. You can take the notes, you can put alarms in your phone, you can do all the things. And the truth is, I've created this program. That's why I'm back for round 2. I actually have created this program because it does good for me to go back to it every couple of months. My favorite ex-husband has no clue what's happening to him. It feels good to go back every few months. It's okay to have this kind of knowledge to go back to. That's why I created the continuation. So it's not really, I have to take it for 50 rounds. It's like every time I show up for myself in this context, I grow as a woman and I feel more powerful. It's not really, I'm taking the program 50 times. It's, I'm going back into this process with myself. And you can do that as many times as you want, because I'll be doing it as many times as I want. This is the magic. So, pleasure. Pleasure when you eat. Who has tried going in the shower and washing their hair or their body in a different way? Smelling the soap. Who's tried that? Did you feel a different experience while in the shower? Did it feel different? Even just washing yourself, like just touching yourself in a different way feels so different. So when I felt like I was in a commercial, when you start doing this work, sometimes it's going to feel strange. Mary says I was in the best mood all day after that. When you first start meeting a guy, you're a lot more aware of yourself. You're aware of all the things about yourself. Then you kind of get on autopilot. So doing these things, consciously eating, consciously washing your hair, consciously smelling, tasting, being, experiencing pleasure, consciously doing those things is actually going to bring you back into that goddess mode now. The goddess mode is the mode where you're happy and blissful, or sad and upset without judging it, and you allow the feelings. You wouldn't imagine the goddess you met in the forest feel embarrassed about crying. She'd probably just walk as the tears flowed in connection with the world, like it's just her face leaking. It doesn't matter. She could probably smile while she cried. It would just be a part of her experience. She would be like, no, please don't look at me, I'm crying. Doesn't even make sense for the goddess you saw. She was just all of it. It's about embracing all of our womanhood, everything that makes us feminine, and the parts that make us masculine, obviously, but really just reconnecting to yourself, to your body, to your pleasure, to your senses. So oxytocin is the pleasure hormone. You feel pleasure, you feel more oxytocin. You know, nearer to the end of the program, we're going to talk about orgasmic manifestation and how that really shifts also through pleasure. Is there any reason where we have to tell our spouse what's happening, or just tell them, watch? Like, I feel like my husband's very confused. You just say, look, I'm on a journey of self-discovery right now. I'm going to be testing things and trying things that may not make sense, but I really want to just have space to try this. You don't have to tell them what's happening. Stood in the rain this morning with my face leaking, just letting sadness wash through me. That's amazing. That's beauty in pain. That's beauty in sadness. That's beauty in emotions. It doesn't always have to be this, I'm holding back the tears and I'm fine. Like, it's not it. The balance. That's what I'm working on, the trifecta. Goddess lady is lazy. I find that with Femme Fatale, I'm showering more of my vulnerability. I'm showing more of my vulnerability. And it's brought deeper connection with many of my friends. It's very empowering. That's amazing. That's amazing. I haven't told Alex much at all. In fact, he didn't know about Femme Fatale about a few days ago, but he's seen changes. That's amazing. Got to keep the secrets to the goddess magic tricks and just wow them. Yes. So here's the thing now. Oxytocin is your ability to make yourself feel good, or to feel good. Like, this is why, you know, going for a manicure or a pedicure is so rewarding, because you know what, it feels really good to sit there and have someone pamper your feet. You don't go and have a pedicure because it's a goddess thing to do. Like, ooh, I got a pedicure. You go get a pedicure because it feels amazing to have another person take care of your body. Yes, massages, manicures, like someone to just cut your nails and wash your feet and massage your legs, and you go for a blowout because someone else washes your hair and blow dries your hair. You know, if you go get your makeup done at Sephora, you know, they'll sit you down, they'll do your makeup for you. Feel the brushes on your skin. Go smell the creams in the stores. Go see what it is that's going on. Have someone pamper you and take care of you, not while you're in a rush because you need a face cream because you don't want to be old, because you want to sit there and have someone take care of you because you're a goddess and you deserve it. I have never had one. Last times at the hairdresser was in 2003. What? Faye, is that actually true? Where's Faye? Gotta find her face. There she is. This is true? Okay. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to find a hairdresser that you want to go to, and then you are going to tell me where it is. I'm going to call, I'm going to get the pricing, and before the end of Femme Fatale, you are going to the hairdresser, and I'm going to pay for the whole thing. You cannot have not been to the hairdresser since 2003. I refuse. So just find where you want to go. Tell me the place. I'm going to call. I'm going to hook you up. You are doing this. This is going to be amazing. And we're going to get to see the transformation. Are you in? Hang on. Let me unmute you because I can feel like you're speaking, but I can't hear you. Hang on. I'm going to see. Okay.
Shave my head or something.
You think she's going to shave your head?
I don't know. Look at my hair. Look at this.
Well, that's all right. So you're gonna have to go and see what they say, and then we're gonna take care of it. You have to go. This is something that you can't go 20 years without. This won't happen.
It's happened.
Well, it won't. It won't make it to 20 because it stops today. So now here's a big thing with being a goddess. It's all about the receiving. And sometimes it's really hard to just be like, okay, I'll go. It's like, are you crazy? They're going to chop my hair off. Look at the way my hair looks. Oh my God, I'm going to just talk about a million things except for the thing at hand I just don't even want to do. So will you find a hair salon that you want to go to? And will you tell me where it is so I can call and figure out what the pricing is so I can pay for it for you? Okay. I love you. We're going to have a makeover. All right. This is going to be fun. So, ladies, it isn't easy always in our life to make a shift. A lot of times, the thing that's holding us back and that's keeping us stuck is a lot heavier than we think. And when we're brought with an opportunity that could change things, sometimes we resist the opportunity itself. Like, oh, I thought I wanted this, but now it's here and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So what I'm going to ask you to do for the homework for this round is to give yourself an opportunity for joy multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. I want you to experience pleasure, whether it's your food, whether it's intimacy with a partner or with yourself, whether it's going for a pedicure, whether it's taking time to really take a shower and really feel good about yourself, whether it's putting body lotion on, shaving your legs, even if there's no reason, just because you want smooth legs, because you know you're allowed to do that. You don't have to be going anywhere. You don't have to take care of your body only when it needs to perform. You don't need a pedicure just because when someone's going to look at your feet. You don't need a manicure just because you're getting a photo shoot. You don't need to shave your legs just because you're going on a date. There's also moments where it's like, for me, I do it for me. Feel what it feels like to take care of yourself because you want to take care of you. Not because there's something wrong. Not because you've got to perform in some way. Just because you want to. For you. Everyone's going to Chicago to see Diane, the brow master. So, oxytocin is your magic, because when your oxytocin starts to skyrocket, his testosterone will start to skyrocket too. This is the crazy thing. Men and women are wired so differently. We take responsibility for nothing. Every time someone's happy, we're like, well, it wasn't because of me, it was because of you. Like, it was all you. Men, it's like, she's happy, it's all me. I'm the man. She's happy, I did it. It's because of me. That's why she's happy, she feels good, she feels happy, that's all on me. That's me. I'm the man. I'm a stud. I did it. It's all me. So totally different vibe. The positivity, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're going for a massage, Shamika. The reason why it happens like this, and it's actually good that it happens like this, is because when he feels good that you're happy, he feels good about himself. And when he feels good about himself, he feels more confident. When he feels more confident, he's more sexy. And when he's more sexy, you're more toned down around him. And then your oxytocin goes up. It's like a self-perpetuating love machine. Our goal needs to be that he feels good about himself. Yet notice in your relationship the times where you just want to kick him down just because it feels good sometimes. Or you're like, don't you take credit for my joy. You did nothing. Don't you take credit for that. You did nothing. You know, sometimes we find that desire to just be like, take that credit right away from you. You don't get to take that. That's mine. As a matter of fact, the best thing you can do for your relationship, I get turned on when he thinks it's all about him. Good. The best thing you can do for your relationship is be happy and make him feel like it was his fault that you're happy. I am so happy and it's all your fault. If you do that, you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Christina says, baths, exercise, and massages, aware missing of my life right now, and these things get me into goddess mode quickly. So start with just putting cream on your body. Start with how you wash your hair. You know, you've got to start somewhere. Some people can't afford to have massages, pedicures, all the things. Don't make it about money. How do you apply your makeup? Feel it on your face. Look at your face. Love yourself. Give yourself a hand massage. File your nails and put a little color on your nails, because it feels good. Give yourself a hair massage. Give yourself a foot massage. Put cream on your legs. Shave your legs, put cream on your legs, and just sit on your couch stroking your legs all evening. Feels so good. Does your oxytocin affect the general energy around you? I've had people who say they love to be with me because they just feel so good around me. When they say your vibe attracts your tribe, oxytocin is like the vibe enhancer. People love happy people because there's this feeling like if you're happy and I'm around you, I will feel this. Can I rub on you? You ever heard anybody tell you this? Like, I wish I could just rub some of that on me. I want to be with you so that can rub off on me, or give me some of that. When people can feel it in you, they want to be near it. I'm so happy you're going to share this, Carla. Samantha, in the meantime, great to yourself. What is this? I am ugliness, and it hit me why I'm not able to do things I do for the goddess mode. Okay, that response to before. So start with smaller things. I wish I could get my hair done. Gotta wait. I promised to grow my hair out to donate when my son does his. I'll be so happy when it's time to get it cut. That's amazing. So you feel joy in your life, and you open the space for him to witness you be happy. He will feel so good knowing you're happy. The biggest downfall of the man, like the biggest shame, guilt a man feels, is when his wife isn't happy. Like, she's not happy. Just think, how would you feel if your man was just not happy, if he was miserable? How could you feel confident about yourself if he was so sad and miserable? He was like, I'm no good, or I'm not this, or yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. It'd be so hard to feel happy around him. But if he was like, I'm in such a good mood. Diane, that makes so much sense. If he comes home and he's smiling and he's like, hey, how are you? I'm so happy to be home, I feel so good. How have you been? How was your day? It's like immediately the shift in your body. It's like, whoa, what happened? Like, yeah, this is great. There will be a shift when you're happy. Everything is easier when you're happy. It's easier to keep you happy than to make you happy when his confidence has been shot down a little bit. You bring him happiness, he'll expand on it. Do it for you. My husband is confused when I'm happy now. Can you imagine how long he's expected you to not be happy in order to be confused when you're happy? This can be turned around, but he's going to have to see what a new standard is. You have to set a new standard for joy in your life. New standard. All you really want is to be happy anyway. So now that you know that oxytocin, which is your happy hormone, is in fact something that is self-perpetuated or created artificially from a new relationship in the beginning, you realize, holy crap, why didn't nobody tell me this before? Because if somebody would have told me this before, I'd have spent my entire life taking care of me. It was effortless when I was 14. I thought the whole world revolved around me taking care of me. I actually thought the world would crumble if I didn't. I thought if I walked out the house without mascara on, people would just faint. Like they would see, and the whole world would fall apart, and the boy that I liked would never look at me again, and it would be the disaster of a lifetime. I thought that 4-hour showers were normal. Spending 4 hours in the bath, my dad wanted to kill me. That's how long it took to get ready when I was 14, 15. To get ready takes a long time. Completely unaware of time. I am getting ready. I have nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. This takes time. So, brushed the hair off my client's face and she said, oh my God. So what I want you to do for the next little while is just keep bringing yourself back. Keep bringing yourself back. Keep bringing yourself back to pleasure, to love, to sensuality, and see how you feel. The next call is the most transformational call, in my opinion, of this program. If you are able to make it live, I would love to have you here live, because this really is the perspective shift that kicks everything into turbo drive. And I would love to have you here for that one. So if you can make it, please make it. If not, I will make sure the replay is extraordinary. but this is going to be outstanding. If you do the homework between now and then, the next call will be even more magnetic. If you truly take the time, make the time to love yourself, to see in your life how different it is when you feel good around you, then you can become someone you're in love with. Imagine that. If we fall in love with how we feel about ourselves in the presence of someone, then be in love with yourself around your own presence. Imagine if you could just feel in love with yourself just because you're with yourself. Yes. Creativity also creates oxytocin. If you're an artist, if you sing, if you paint, if you write, do loads of it. If you dance, everything that's creative, everything that's the flowy feminine mind, that is oxytocin driven. Enjoy the next few days. Enjoy your life like your happiness. Like, enjoy happiness like your life depends on it, as though you're powered by joy. And share with us in the group. Share your beautiful experiences, your showers, the lathering of the soap, the smells. Share with us the beauty. Kayla says, my daughter's in her crib and she looks like she's doing a yoga pose, and I'm laughing. That's a great way to start the day. Laughter brings oxytocin. Sometimes I just dance alone at home to Spanish music. Like, just listen to that. Just think of this. How does it feel in your body when you imagine a woman alone in her home dancing to Spanish music? How does that feel to even just picture that? Like, she's in her house, she's alone, there's Spanish music, and she's dancing. Like, how beautiful is that? It's like, oh, wow. That is beauty. That's life. You know, it's not just about being on time to the next meeting and being good enough for this and doing enough for that. Like, just the being with the music and yourself and experiencing yourself. That is beauty. Do that and enjoy every second. I can't wait for our next session. I'm loving this round so much. Your energy is on point. Keep doing it. Keep showing up. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And I cannot wait for our next call. I'll see you soon. Bye, ladies.